The original Avengers, the theme sounded like that, and that's the theme from the very first show, apparently, which was called Hot Snow. I love the idea of that. Hot Snow. Let's invent that and serve it in restaurants. To a phone. His name is Ian Duerden, and he's a super fan of the Avengers. In fact, he loved the TV show so much, he produced his own Avengers comic strips, and we speak to him now. Morning, Ian.
Morning there, Victoria. Hello.
Oh, well, hello. You did sound a bit like Steve then. Is that a nice, deliberate thing?
That's nice. That's charming. That's a nice thing to say, yes.
Oh, okay. We'll take that as a compliment. Are you wearing a bowler hat as we speak?
No, I never have, and I always think that you have to have the shape of the head for it. And Patrick Minett had a beautifully big head, and I have a slim head, and a bowler hat would teeter on me like Laurel and Hardy. No, it wouldn't suit me.
I think, do you know, some hats do look nice on me. I wonder if that's because I've got a big head as well.
I think that only a few people can carry a bowler hat, and that's why I'm always saying you can't replace Patrick Minett. There's been several attempts to film and the like.
Oh, gosh. Do you remember that film a couple of years ago?
Yeah, fans don't talk about that film.
Oh, do
that
you
is
not?
an example of someone that didn't carry a bowler hat, nor swung his umbrella in the right angle. But there we go. That's the fun of the fandom.
I see. You do take it terribly seriously, then, I take it.
I don't think we do. Well, I never did. It's just something I enjoy and a place I go to. And I think the fans that contact me because of my comic strip, because of that, I think that they're also light-hearted. It's diabolical masterminds, and Avengers is Avengerland. It's a place that never existed and never will exist. It's Never Land. And it's fun. It's just fun.
I tell you, I love the Avengers. I do. As a huge fan of everything 60s, it epitomises everything I love about those times. Everything sort of seemed to be simpler. The music sounded great, and the clothes. Everybody looked so marvellous right the way through the series.
It ran for 9 years, and yes, it carried that charm and it carried that period. And I think it looks good now to look back at it, but if there's ever any attempts to remake it and to bring it up to date, it doesn't work. It has to live in that period that it was created in, and that's what the comic strips were. They were set in that period, so just a nostalgia for me, I think.
What was it about the TV show that grabbed you? Were you? I'm taking you were a little boy when it first popped up.
I was a young lad sat there putting up the fact that my family were not happy that No Hiding Place had disappeared and this new series was on. I remember the first episode only in one shocking thing. At the end of the first break, one of the supposed lead characters was killed. And that's where the word Avengers came, because the Doctor whose girlfriend it was, Ian Henry, playing the part, goes on a quest to avenge her murder. And John Steed was no more than an associate, a sinister character from the Ministry who came in, and at first I thought he was the villain, and then the blurred years go by, and I think I picked it up again with Kathy Gale, because let's be honest, I was a lad moving into puberty, and Kathy Gale changed everything.
That's Honor Blackman, is that? Yeah.
Honor Blackman, yeah.
Yes, and a leather catsuit. Bless her.
Yeah. This was, I think, Patrick Minett's idea.
And was it really?
Yeah, and I think it was the writer, Brian Clemens, who once said, actually, if they stood at a bus stop, John Steed with his bowler hat, Honor or Emma Peel in their leather, they would stand out as ridiculous comic strip characters. They wouldn't fit in the real world. But we accept them in the... I mean, Diana Rigg would turn up at an interview for some diabolical mastermind. She'd be in a leather suit. No one reacted to the fact that she just walked in a leather suit, except the schoolboy that knew she was going to start fighting, and that was exciting. So and that's why I always think it plays to the comic strip world, because they're not real characters. You never see any blood. people get shot, but they don't really die because you don't see any violence. It was, strangely, a non-violent series in a violent decade.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I hadn't thought of that. Cool, because she did judo, didn't she, Kathy Gale? So literally a backside kicker rather than anything
Honor
else.
Blackman came on, and she was replacing Ian Henry, and it just so happened she could do this sport. Her father had been in the army, and she was capable of doing it.
So it kind of does make sense that it lends itself so well to comic strips. When were you first inspired to draw them?
Well, I'm an illustrator, so I'm always looking at the illustration side of anything. But I was actually I'd had some kidney stones removed, and I was really stuck at the drawing board, not doing any commercial work. And I only did a banner. I just did this banner that said "The Return of the Avengers" and Patrick Macnee and Diana Rigg, because Emma Peel was the most popular. And forums picked it up, and then fans sort of contacted and said, "Nice to do a page." I did a page, and then another page, and then after a bit, I began to find that I was enjoying myself, and the fans were eager to see what happened the following page. And I think it's running at some like 70 or 80 pages now. I lost track of how many, and they still fit into my spare time, and they're still done for fun. I still have time for my family, my children and everything, be it they've grown up. But some people say to me, well, don't you put a lot of time into it? And I only put time into it that I've got spare, and I just enjoy it. And I like the fact that people that read it enjoy it back. So it's just fun.
I bet it is. Listen, it is loads of fun looking back. I've been having a flick through them this morning and absolutely love them. They're great stuff. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ian Duerden, superfan. And if you do get a chance, just Google it. Stick it into to Google, and you should come up with the Avengers Artland. But the comic strips look absolutely great. But what year did the Avengers first hit our screens? That